think where we're heading now, because of social media, it's starting to become a lot more exposed. With me coaching primarily African-American kids, the only thing I can honestly say is that we're still behind the eight ball of having that black stellar baseball player. You know, we're pretty much all 90s kids. So we all know we immediately go straight to Ken Griffey Jr. But then you go a little deeper. You know, you got Albert Bells, you got the Kenny Loftons, you have those players. We don't have too many of those guys right now that we can identify with. A lot of my guys, for both my travel team and my high school team, they align more with Latin players. Right now, Ellie De La Cruz is the guy. He's who everybody aspires to. So I think until we get us a legit top 5 player that looks like us, we're going to still have a little bit of lacking going on with trying to get black kids to play baseball. Right now, Jazz Chisholm is holding it down. He's starting.
Shout out to Jazz.
Yeah, Jazz tearing it up for the Yankees right now. But, until we get more guys like Jazz Chisholm, I'm waiting to see what Hunter Green does with the Reds and guys like him. But what's going on in high school baseball, in particular in Chicago, that's really helping a lot more, because we're starting to see a lot more black kids playing baseball just because of what we're seeing in our local community.
I would like to piggyback on what you just said about the baseball players in MLB right now. To me, Mookie Betts is still the best baseball player.
I forgot about Mookie. He's hurt.
He's hurt, but he's been the best in my eyes for the last umpteen years. A lot of people say it was Mike Trout. I put up the numbers against the numbers. Mookie Betts is the best.
Don't Mookie got an MVP too? And a World Series?
Booyah.
There you go.
So that's just my opinion. I personally think the exposure is there. The exposure is there, but it's not going to be about the exposure. It's going to be about the opportunities that we get. For example, you look at the college circuit right now. Kendall Ewell is one of the best collegiate baseball players of the nation.
What school is he at?
He was at USC.
Okay.
Before he was at USC, he was at EKU. Tore it up down there, Golden Spikes nominee. Then he comes to another league and does the same thing. So my thing is, it doesn't matter how much exposure that we get. They're going to buy in and let us in. You got the Cam Colliers. You got the Tamar. You got all these young African-American players coming up. But are they going to get the opportunity to crack that code?
Right.
Because you're not going to tell me that we just named all these players from the 80s and the 90s, and all of a sudden we just forget how to play the game.
Right. Yeah.
And me personally, I don't think it's a black and white thing anymore. Almost. It's almost just a financial need.
I was going to actually say that. It's economic.
It's economics. Because you got a lot of young, probably brown, and a lot of white kids that can't afford to be on these travel teams that has a lot of skill that can go and play the game at a high level, but they're not getting that exposure.
Right.
So I think more importantly, it's about money, man.
And it's not even just that. I mean, a basketball from Walmart is what, $10-15?
Yeah.
I had one of my players at 2:30 this morning send me a text saying, "Coach, can I get this bat?" It was a DeMarini. It's $350. It's a $350 bat, and that's just one bat. We're not even talking about a glove. We're not talking spikes. We're talking just a baseball bat. So yeah, I agree with the economic part too.
Yeah. I mean, and then you look at the travel circuit. I remember when we first started off with the Tigers. Shout out to DB, Dennis, and Daryl, Old Man Butler. Jason Little.
You just gonna call him an old man?
I mean, Old Man Butler. Old Man Butler. You know what I'm saying? That's Old Man Butler. He a G2. I never give it because Daryl out because he wouldn't let DJ play. That was funny. But you have to go back to those days when travel ball, it was big, but it was just starting off, and we was able to keep it at a financial need to get Q that exposure, to go out to Detroit, to go out to Kansas City, to go out to Oklahoma to play. So these guys, we was blessed at a young age to start this thing young. But now you look at these tournaments, like I just came from Colorado for softball. That was $2,700 to play in that tournament. Just to play. And it was almost over 280 teams out there.
Yeah. And
so just think about the money aspect of that nature.
And you know what? I just wrapped up my first travel season as a coach. Shout out to the Charles baseball program, who I forgot to mention earlier when I introduced myself. Shame on me. I just became the head coach of that program. There's 17 U teams. So shout out to Eli Martinez for starting up that program. But since I mentioned him, let me tell you, the reason why he started that program was for the same reasons that you just mentioned. High level baseball for kids who can't really afford it, but they made it affordable for these kids to actually play. We went to 2 tournaments out of state. We went to Kansas City and we went to Rantoul. And the opportunities for those boys, for some that possible, I got one kid who damn sure couldn't, I'm sorry for cussing, but he absolutely couldn't afford it. But this kid came onto the program and he dominated. And now he's going to go to school for free. So when we put these opportunities in front of these kids, you never know what can happen, based off just from them just being exposed to it,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to pivot into a different direction, if y'all don't mind. This past year at UAPB, we went on a trip to the St. Louis Cardinals for the diversity and inclusion program. And they really expressed about how much they want more black people in baseball. And I'm going to keep it as simple as that, more black people in baseball. But you got to understand that, like Sam said earlier, with all the cleats, the bats, the gloves, it's overly expensive. And then you put that into, everybody's not going to make it pro. Everybody can't make it to college. So everybody needs the opportunities to stay in the game. And I believe we're taking a step in the right direction so that everybody who loves the game can contribute to something, a part of the game, to grow the game for people that look like us.
It is more jobs outside the line than it is inside the lines. And I believe once we get to that point where, you play this game for the love and you play this game because you love it, and the game will reward you in a certain way. For example, look what E and Marcus and Nash did by starting up gym, by coming and giving young black and brown kids and just, kids in general that doesn't have the financial need. And then you start off with the black baseball media, and look what we've been doing the last 2 years. So it's more jobs outside the game of baseball than it is inside. But as long as we promote the love for playing the game inside, it's going to reward you back. So that is a great example you're talking about, Q.
And absolutely, I'm glad y'all brought that up about more opportunities outside the diamond. I'm gonna bring up a young man that we were discussing earlier. He didn't even get drafted. Kendall Ewell, right? Shattered almost every record at UIC this year. So he hit 390. I'm going to repeat that. He hit 390 in Division I college baseball. He had 21 home runs, 69 RBIs, 56 run scores. I'm not going to keep going down the stat line. And
that's enough.
He still didn't get drafted, right? So the alarming thing that should be in everybody's face is, if you're not one of the organization scouts guys, they're not going to pick you. And to Q Noble's point, he has a University of Arkansas Pine Bluff degree, the greatest institution known to man.
Dear mother.
Oh my God, dear mother. But no, to that point, if you are especially African American, you're playing the game in college, you better be thinking about life after college. Because you could tear it up all you want. And this guy, Kendall Ewell, you went to UIC, right? It's a stigma on SWAC baseball, MEAC baseball, SIAC, all the HBCUs from the scouting department of they don't get a high grade because of the competitiveness of the conference, right? And, when we asked the scouts a couple times last year, that was their reasoning, right? So now I'm looking at this kid, Kendall Ewell, like I said, 390, 21 home runs, 69 RBIs in a Division I power, right under mid-major. The power college, mid-major, right? And still didn't get drafted. So
how many mid-major kids did get drafted, though, E?
So the shortstop on this guy's team got drafted.
Well, pull his stats up.
Let me pull it up.
I'm gonna pull up another kid who didn't get drafted, a kid that I coached. And I'm biased, and it's the best hitter to ever come out of ACE program. Stamp that and to prove it. Eddie King Jr., the best.
I'm going to bring up Eddie King's stats right now.
I know Eddie King's stats. Eddie hit 322.
Okay, talk it.
I think he had 13 bombs, 59 RBIs, and he had 18 stolen bases, I believe, either 12 or 18 in the ACC. He didn't get drafted.
He didn't get drafted.
But can I tap into something really quick?
Come on with it.
Something, and I don't know how this is going to make certain people feel, but I'm going to just say it. Certain things have to stay a certain way, it seems like. Because, again, when you look at Major League Baseball, your top guys are either Caucasian or Latin. And when you look at the history of the black baseball player, Barry Bonds, Willie Mays, you look at guys like Albert Bell, or we can even go into the last 10 years, Adam Jones, Milton Bradley. These guys are what you would what they consider high-strung athletes or emotional athletes. And so because of that, you know, if you're not Barry Bonds and you're not hitting 700 and, you know, something home runs and you're not the home run king, you're going to get looked at a little different, and you have a very, very small window to be very, very successful in a short amount of time. And that's the unfair part. So these numbers that you were saying are amazing. However, certain things, in my opinion, some people going to keep certain things. Like I said, just keep it the same, you know, and that's unfortunate.
And if you think about, let's keep it a buck. We're going to keep it a buck, right? So we're going to keep it a buck. So if I want the athleticism of an African-American kid, right? In America, you have too many options to deal with. You know, Q out of high school, if he'd have got drafted, he wouldn't have signed for $120,000.
I would have been gone.
He wouldn't have signed for $120,000.
I would have been gone.
Gee, you think about it. After your taxes, after that, a person making at McDonald's make more than you playing baseball.
That's facts, though.
And that's how you got to look at it.
And they live in their cars.
So now you think about this. So now you get somebody from the Dominican or from Cuba or from, you know, one of the fantastic islands that's producing these stars. Mm-hmm. They're training them kids at 12, 13 years old. They don't have to go to high school.
No.
They don't have to go to college. All you got to do is baseball. And the MLB is pouring money into that. So you look at that aspect of it. When in America, I don't want to sign a kid because he going to want 1.5.
Yeah. And then it's also a control thing because they have your rights. You come into the league from the Dominican at 16.
Right.
And they control your rights until they don't need them, or they'll just trade you, or whatever they got to do, as opposed to a kid who we know should be at least top 5 round drafted kid. And he's got options. He may be a dual sport athlete. And then, you know, again, the notion of the stereotypical black male athlete, you know, he comes in, he's emotional, he's got this ego, he's got all of these things, and we're judged before we even walk in the door. We see our numbers speak for themselves. However, we're still black men at the end of the day. And that's the unfortunate part about baseball. And I learned that just from coaching travel baseball this season. And this is at the high school level, so I can only imagine what it's like at college and at the minor league levels and so on and so forth.
Because in college you don't get a chance. In college, if you get that one, you mess up one time, you're on the bench. We have a saying, you got to be a super nymph.
Yeah, I tell my kids that all the time.
You got to be a super nymph.
Yeah,
which means you got to go out there, hit 480, strike out once, hit 10 bombs, catch every ball. When your counterpart can go 0 for 8. And you're going to get ran back out there.
And you're going to find out later after the game, oh, this kid is committed to Power 5 university.
No, even when you're on that team.
Yeah, well,
even when you're on the college team.
Well, I'm speaking from the high school and travel part. But right. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, though.
I want to say something regarding like Kendall Ewell, and I'll give a shout out to my close friend Cam Buford, because, you know, Cam Buford hit 10. No, he did more than tear it up. He's hit 10 home runs every year he was at Grambling. He's Grambling's home run leader. You know, you put that on top of just everything that he's done over the course of his year, and for him to go undrafted, it's pretty much the similar boat as Kendall Ewell. And you got to ask the question, why are these guys not getting drafted? And you got to look at how old they are, their eligibility, like how much they want to pay these guys, like we were talking about. And it's not fair. And, you know, we have to be able to overcome these things. But to see these things are disheartening to black boys and girls everywhere. But, you know, the journey is not over, and it can be done. You know, we got guys like Ricky Weeks, Andre Dawson, all those guys who came up through the HBCU ranks, and they did it. And, you know, unfortunately for Cam and, you know, Kendall, they didn't get their opportunity, but you can still get yours if you do what you're supposed to do.
See, what I think the scouts back then, they knew a ball player.
Yeah.
I know a ball player. You had the old white guy with the chewing the gum, had the big cigar. He knew a ball player. Think about it. Let's laugh and BS. Look at life. My man went to can't get right out of jail, my man.
Yeah.
That boy can hit a ball a country mile.
Literally.
And got him.
You get up underneath that ball, you do your thing, can't get right. But no, on the Cam Buford, I'm going to give some stats because Q Noble gave it to you. I'm going to break it down. 2021 as a freshman, Cam Buford hit .319, played shortstop, had 12 home runs, 40 RBIs. In 2022, he hit .320, had 12 home runs, 52 RBIs. In 2023, he hit .322. He had 12 home runs, 65 RBIs. And in 2024, he hit .342, 11 home runs, 55 RBIs. So he has improved each one of his years while he was the shortstop and third baseman at Grambling State University. He hit fairly well against all the Power 5 schools that they play. So to Brother Noble's point, more than tore it up. And this is what we have to do and use our platform to advocate for our Black and brown players who are not getting the just due that they deserve.
Not getting the love at all.
Right now, we're going to – you can't tell me a reason why this young man did not get drafted, Cam Buford. You can't tell me a reason. There's nothing that you could say about anything except for his skin color. And I'm going to say it like this on this platform. It's his skin color because if you look at the two cats that got drafted out of the SWAC, they weren't black. They were not black. And there's no knock to those guys. I'm happy for your future, but we're drafting 2 non-African Americans got drafted out of the SWAC, and we have African Americans in the SWAC that have put up far better numbers. So I'm gonna let that marinate and let it sit. And
it's already cooking, bro.
It's already cooking. But no, we
then you wonder why kids go play football
and basketball. Yep,
that's bananas, bro.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cam was terrorizing. 4 years.
You had to play against him. How did you feel when you see him come up to the bat?
Personally, because I used to do my thing against Graham too. I mean, I'm being honest. I used to do my thing against Graham too, man. But I'm always gonna chop it up with Cam. Be like, hey, Cam, look, take it easy today, man. Say them bonds for the next weekend. He gonna at least pop 2 of them. So that power there, the hit there, the defense, like. Everything is there, and it's just like he didn't get that fair opportunity. Like I can't tell you how many times like I saw scouts come to the games, and it's like where are the resources to go into the scouts at the SWAC games? Because they're athletes, real life athletes that are better, faster, stronger than probably anybody you can see in those SEC schools, but they don't have the exposure, And it's simply like that because everybody don't got $40K to go to Arkansas and Fayetteville. They got to go to Pine Bluff, so.
Southern beat up on LSU.
Once again, it comes back to what?
Financial needs.
Money.
I know we getting ready to transition topics, but I just want to just close with saying this. Can we bring back the black catchers? I'm pulling for Sir Jameson and I'm pulling for AJ. So, hey, coming from one former catcher to another, Sir Jameson and AJ, hey, y'all go out there and do y'all thing, man. In y'all respective. And Sir Jameson, he signed, didn't he, with Washington?
He got a first hit the other day too.
Congratulations. So, hey, if you're a black catcher out there listening, don't let them change your position. You're not a third baseman. You're a catcher, and you stand on that.
And shout out to AJ, man. He's one of the most humble and nicest young men you would ever meet in your life, man.
He didn't even catch when we played them. He pitched, and I was like, "Oh, I thought you were catching." He was like, "Yeah, they were saving arms." That's what we are in our program right now. But we're getting there. Delayed, not denied, guys.
Delayed, but not denied.
So we are in the 10-year anniversary from when Chicago put the world on notice what black boy excellence looks like. Absolutely. And we got a member of that championship team, Q Noble here. Can you just give us a little bit? I know it's 10 years. You're a grown man now, got a college degree, doing great things. But can you give us just a flashback of how that experience was, winning the Little League World Series?
Man, it's a blur, honestly. And when you were there, it's like, man, we got stuff to do every weekend. Like, man, we got to go to the governor rally. We got to go to the parade. We got to go to D.C. And truth be told, like, they treated us how we were supposed to be treated, like kings, and I was blessed to experience that. Like, I'm blessed with all the places that baseball has taken me. And shout out to Coach DB and everybody, Coach Little, Coach Houston, those group of guys helped change the city. They don't get enough credit because of the work they put us through so we could get to where we needed to go. and just the overall experience of being in a Little League World Series and you going outside and people asking for your autograph. You can't even go get no food because it's about 20 kids that want you to sign their ball and sign their glove, you know, and I'm pretty sure some of the guys that tell you, like, they probably missed signing those autographs, you know, so because I know I did for a long time, you know.
But you know, it's something that a lot of people never get to have that experience, man. So it's like you said, the game of baseball that's treating you so good. And I remember watching you guys going out there whoop kids, man. It was crazy. I'm the one who took that photograph when we beat Hedwich 43-2. That was my photograph. I took that.
That was Evergreen Park. We beat 43-2. We probably beat Hedwich like 20-something to 0. But.
I remember that because everything was talking noise that day. He's like, we hit home runs too.
Yeah. They brought my home run that game too. That was crazy. I didn't even get a chance to get on board.
I'm going to do something. You know, we're going to do something right here live on the spot, right? I'm going to talk about your teammates. And what I want you to do is tell the world that where they play baseball at after Little League and in high school and college, and if they made it to the pros. All right, we're going to rapid fire.
Okay.
Cam Buford.
He's indie ball. He played at Graham. So
DJ Butler.
I know he was recently at UIC. I don't know if anything after that.
He's still there.
Thank you. Brandon Green.
He went to Southern. He actually did a stint with one of the teams that were with the Savannah Bananas. He was still playing, but I'm not sure if he's still doing that. But
I think he graduated.
Facts.
Trey Hundreds.
He recently was at Marshall. He's looking for more opportunities, D2 and D3.
He's going to the University of Indianapolis.
Ed Howard.
Currently with the Cubs.
Was he a first-round pick?
Oh, yeah. I was at that party.
My dog.
Marquise Jackson.
Marquise was at Central Michigan. I believe he graduated, and I think he's still looking for more professional opportunities too.
Went to a JUCO, won the World Series.
Pierce Jones.
Graduated high school, got drafted, you know, and I don't believe he's still playing, but he served, you know, he played his ball with the San Diego Padres.
Eddie King.
Louisville, stud.
Best at his program.
Lawrence Noble.
Started off at Coppin State, you know, preferred walk-on, played, went down to UAPB, preferred walk-on, played, and now I'm currently going to Japan in November to play and, you know, possibly pursue a professional career in Japan with the NPB.
It's no possibly. You speak that in existence.
Yeah, claim that.
You're going to do it, pimpin'.
Yeah.
So what y'all just heard is that same team that y'all saw on TV and was riding behind, they're still in the pursuit of excellence. And that's what I mean by if you provide the resources. You know, Nova said shout out to DB and Coach Little, Coach Booker, that West Inglewood Tigers, the Chicago White Sox Ace program, everybody who had their hand in and got involved to ensure that if you put something special together and give kids opportunity, the right training, the parents, and I'm going to tell you something, man, y'all mamas was hustling for y'all to get out there. I was there, you know, fundraiser after fundraiser after fundraiser after fundraiser, but that's what it's called, you know, the whole takes a village to raise a child. And you guys shocked the world. And the thing is, the media not going to talk about right now, but we're in the 10-year anniversary. So y'all representing Chicago. We're going to bring this up every single time that we get on this podcast because guess what? That's what we display.
And I'm going to say this. I lived in St. Louis during that time. Y'all didn't just lift up Chicago. No, y'all lifted up a lot of people. Like in particular, and I lived in a predominantly black neighborhood in St. Louis, and to start seeing little kids out there playing ball because of what you all did. I know the signing of autographs was huge for you, but the impact, the global impact that you all made, y'all were on a global stage. Shout out to y'all for just doing that part and introducing baseball to a new group of black kids.
And let me say shout out to those parents too, man. A lot of those parents I know personally, and those parents play a significant role in those kids' lives, and every kid. And I don't think people don't understand the community that we have here in Chicago. When they think the negative of Chicago, this, and this. No, these are hard working class black parents that did everything for their kids. And I know each and every one of them personally. And I just want to shout out to them, man. Shout out to Eddie King. That's my big dog.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you know, Coach Booker has said, shout out to the parents. And a lot of these parents sacrifice, you know, a lot of everything that they had to put into these kids because every kid could look to each parent and each parent could offer something. You know, it might not have to be something to do with baseball, but it had everything to do with life. And we are such a tight-knit community, and I just really want to expand this community the most that we can, because every kid should have the opportunity to pick up that bat and see what it feel like to hit a home run.
Shout out to the parents, man.
Booker, what's your Mount Rushmore of black baseball players?
Damn.
Yeah, I'm coming at you today.
That's hot.
Yeah, I'm coming at you. Come on with the voice. I've been hearing you talking a lot of this talk on this live stream.
Number one is Ken Griffey Jr. In my eyes, he's my favorite player coming up. Say number two would be Barry Bonds. Number three is the most underrated player of all time to me. It's Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn is the best.
He ain't underrated.
The best pure hitter of all time to me.
394 before the strike.
The best pure hitter of all time. Barry Bonds is the most feared. I always say Tony Gwynn is the best pure hitter. Number four, I will have to put the captain Derek Jeter up there just because of his accomplishments and what he's done, holding that Yankees tradition down, and just, you know, coming out of high school and watching his story and watching the struggles that he went to, and what parents understand that you have to let your kids struggle, and his parents let him struggle. And I will say number five will have to be one of my personal favorites, and just because he's in the city of Chicago, is Frank Thomas.
Shout out to the Big Hurt.
Because the Big Hurt, you know, he made me see that little chubby kid can play the game of baseball. And that's what I was when I was a shorty. You know what I'm saying? And I used to want to be Frank Thomas.
Who's your Mount Rushmore, Noble?
Well, it's, you know, I ain't going to copy too much off Coach Brooker. I'm going to do a little bit more recent. So, you know, of course, Ken Griffey Jr. on there, of course. You know, shout out to him. Barry Bonds. But I'm going to go, you know, two hometown dudes. I'm going to go Curtis Granderson.
Shout out to TF South, unfortunately.
And this really going to shock people, but Marvin Freeman. You know, I gotta give my respect to Marvin Freeman for what he did in his career. You know, very overlooked, but he did what he had to do, and he did it at a very high level for a long time. You know, he know what he's talking about, and he talked that talk, and he walked that walk every time.
Shout out to Freeman.
So shout out to them.
I guess it's on me.
It's on you.
All right. So after Ken Griffey Jr., I'm gonna throw a picture in. CC Sabathia.
Yep.
Gotta throw in CC.
From Vallejo.
You man, listen. Gotta throw him in. For me, my third, because I was a catcher and I ain't seen nobody since, Charles Johnson. And when I met him at the Classic, that was everything to me, dog. Like, because you don't get a chance to actually meet your heroes. It's very rare. But I got a chance to meet that man. And I was like, man, I caught because I saw you do it.
Yes, sir.
So he's number three for me. So I said Ken Griffey, CC Sabathia, Charles Johnson, and the wizard at shortstop, Ozzie Smith.
Okay, that's
and
a good one.
If I can kind of just throw in just a bonus guy that's right alongside with CC Sabathia, we can't forget about Dontrell Willis. Because I'm going to tell you, during that, I was in high school at the time, and I remember when he took the league by storm for those. It was a very, very short stint because of injuries, but he was like the Michael Vick of baseball as far as culture. I'm not talking just skill. I'm talking about culture.
High leg kick, the socks
hat,
all the way up,
the
hat
cap.
cocked.
Yeah, I still wear my socks high. I still wear my socks high just because of that. You know, so, but those four players, those are my guys. But Dontrell Willis, we can't forget about him.
Who was yours?
Yeah, who you got?
So I got.
He ain't ducking this
I
smoke.
can't duck. I'm sorry. I was trying not to get in the batter's box. You gonna make me hit,
You
Coach? I got Bonds number one, Griffey number two, Willie Mays number three, Frank Robinson number four.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to dig a little deeper. Yeah. My five is gonna really catch a lot of y'all off guard. My five is Jimmy Rollins.
That's not
Jimmy
a bad
Rollins
fifth.
is a dog, man.
He's an MVP. He's a World Series champion. So
And he had a glove up this world, man.
And I'm gonna tell you, the reason why I got Jimmy Rowe number five, Jimmy Rowe swag, he didn't care about nothing.
No, he didn't.
He didn't care about nothing. He went on national TV and said, "It don't matter if you catch a ground ball with your one hand or two hands." I said, everything is a run through. So when I heard that, I'm like, oh.
Okay, I got one for you. Since you went there, give me your top 5 baseball players that rep the culture, that represented for us.
For us?
For us.
Of course, Griffey #1. He has everybody wearing his hat backwards.
Yep.
Ricky Henderson, Man of Steel #2.
Third person, man.
Ooh. Eric Davis, don't get it twisted.
With the high top Nikes. Knee-high Nikes.
Derek Jeter. Hey, let me tell a quick story. I went to one Yankees game and I saw Derek Jeter. I think this was 2008, 7, 8, something like that. Man, his intro song was, I get money, I get money. I run New York.
That's hard.
40,000 white people stand up clapping for the mayor, the captain.
I run New York.
I run New York. And I'm missing one. Swag, right now, I got Chisholm. We got to
go with Jazz.
I got Jazz doing some Jazz with different color batting gloves. He got a white belt. He got purple cleats.
Jazz is going to be the reason black kids start playing baseball at a high level again.
Yeah.
Just because he might be this generation's, I'm not going to say King Griffey Jr., but culturally, he might be that guy.
Ooh, I forgot one. Hold on. We're tripping. 2, really. And it was up the middle together in the White Sox organization, and we see what's happening with them.
Oh, my God. You know I'm going to say it.
Josh Cincy B. Harrison.
That's my boy, Jay Hay.
Jay Hay. Never switched up, never changed. Gold chain to his chest. Socks high. Swag out of control. Braids to the back. I think he might have been the first infielder with braids.
With the beard.
With the beard. Long beard. And Tim Anderson. So I had to put my other 2 on there. I couldn't. T.A., man, he was in Lil Durk's and King Von or whatever the music video was as the starting shortstop. It don't get more culture. We ain't from 63rd and all that. Like, he was the centerfold and poster child of the ML for black MLB. But I'm gonna dig a little deeper. This is how the marketing of MLB have changed since the 90s. And I think this has to do with why the popularity is going down. Marketing right now is at we really don't see it. When you looked at the 90s, not just the black players, the white players, the chicks dig the long ball, that whole campaign. Man. And then Deion Sanders with his shoes. Ooh, we forgot him on the swag tip too.
Frank Thomas had his shoes.
Frank Thomas had shoes.
For president in 1996.
And in 2019, I believe, 2018, 2019, I got to look it up, but Tim Anderson won the batting title, right? And he had the all-time, the highest average for that league in American League. It wasn't a billboard or commercial about it around.
And don't forget, he shut down the Field of Dreams Classic with that walk-off against the Yankees. That's what really put him on the map.
So, the marketing, and this has been proven studies too, and people have been digging deep. If you look at the 90s, how they marketed baseball is totally different than how they market now. Maybe it's because we're not watching TV. Everybody's on the computer, YouTube, and everything. And also now, I think in the 90s, the average fan was a 42-year-old white man. Right now, the average fan for baseball is a 56-year-old white man. Or Caucasian, I'm sorry, not to offend anybody. So that can switch it and change it also. And I really believe that the African-American player, with what Jazz is doing and a couple other players, Tink Hintz in the minor league. Y'all got to go look at that name up. Tink Hintz, he's out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Yeah, I play with his brother.
He played with his brother. He got some swag, and he throwing the hell out that ball for the Cardinals organization. He's in the minors. He should be called up pretty soon. Hunter Green, the swag, yeah. So it's coming back, but I think they got a little bit more to go just because of the overall marketing, right?
But do they want to let us in the door? That's the point. Like you said, though, I mean, you got to realize, if you go back to like when Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier and things of that nature, like, it was a thing to find that African-American kid. That was dope. So that's what they was going to have to find and stuff. Now it's like, we don't have to look for that no more because we're still going to make our money. You see what I'm saying? It always go back to the dollar. Like, if I can invest in overseas and get these people, it's like, you're not for to tell me, bro, that Cam Carter shouldn't be caught up in about 2-3 years, man.
2 or 3 days.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're not for to tell me. His dad, Lou Carter, played in the big. Shout out to Big Lou too. You know what I'm saying? You're not for to tell me that these kids shouldn't be caught up, man.
Man, listen.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna tell you, like, we're not sorry, Q, but we're 90s kids, really. And I remember I
was born in 1987.
Likewise, same.
81. I'm the OG in this joint.
OG status, okay. But when we were growing up, it was easy for us to turn, like we just said, chicks dig the long ball. those commercials are nostalgic, but you don't see too many of those commercials anymore
because you don't have the players to market it.
But you're starting to finally see it just a little like, okay, Shohei Ohtani right now in a lot of people's eyes is the best player in all of baseball. Just signed $700 million. He's got a sponsorship deal with New Balance. So now you're starting to see him on TV just because of what he does. But where's Nike? Where's Jordan Brand? Where's Adidas? Where are your featured athletes at? Because you got to remember,
well, Jordan got
Mookie Betts,
but we got Mookie on the commercial.
Mookie
Jordan
never
got
had a
Jazz.
commercial. Got Jazz.
The point I'm trying to make is
Talk.
all about marketing.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a sneaker culture.
Yep.
Deion Sanders has one of the top 5 greatest signature shoe lines of all time. Hideo Nomo had his shoe. The Air Max TM is out because of Greg Maddux and Tom Glavine.
Boy, talk your noise.
The Griffeys are hands down the greatest signature baseball shoe of all time. And kids to this day don't even realize that 24 is not Kobe, but it's Ken Griffey. So the day we start getting back into true marketing, that's going to be the day we start seeing the real black baseball player come back, because everybody wants to still wear the Jordans. Everybody wants to still wear, whatever the current basketball shoe is. We don't have that. So we have to start understanding as marketing people, as consumers, we have to shop with where we like, and we identify with who we like, i.e. Michael Jordan, Ken Griffey Jr., Deion Sanders, Penny Hardaway, those type. We don't have that right now. So if we can get a Jazz Chisholm, a Mookie Betts, one of those guys to get a signature shoe, that's going to change everything. It's going to change. I'm almost certain that will, because you still wear the swing man 25 years later.
And I got a pair too. I got 2 of them.
Listen, I have a pair of Ken Griffey's that I wear on the field, and they're still selling Ken Griffey cleats. It's the swing man and the jump man is almost synonymous. But who's our jump man? Who's our swing man right now? So somebody has to be that person in order for us. That's really all it's going to take.
Come on, Sam.
Jazz Chisholm got to be that one. Mookie got to be that one. With the next black baseball player has to be that one. If Shohei can get a signature cleat and Mike Trout ain't won, he ain't never even been to the playoffs, and he has his own signature line. Bryce Harper has his, but only white kids wear what they identify. That's why when you go on the circuit, you see Under Armour on every kid's shoe, on every kid's foot, and it's a Mike Trout. It's a Bryce Harper cleat, or it's a Mike Trout. We don't have a Griffey. We don't have like I said, the signature black athlete sneaker. So once we get that and we start getting that apparel, you're going to start seeing a lot more kids want to get identified with those athletes.
Y'all hear the Coach Bearded. Drop your Instagram, because somebody going to have to rewatch that.
Get back to me. I don't remember off top. No, I'm just playing. It's Coach Bearded. No, I'm just joking. It's Coach Bearded 1 at Coach Bearded 1 on Instagram.
I told you, man, these co-hosts, they on fire.
Nah, for real. And they closed the door in here, so we really burning up. Man.
No, you got it on fire. You got it on fire, boy. So we got like 10 more minutes, but now is the part that a lot of people been waiting on in Chicago. So we got the Chicago High School Baseball Classic coming up.
Snap.
It is going to be in April 2025. We call this thing the Super Bowl of high school baseball. It is the biggest amateur high school baseball event in the country, the most attended high school baseball event in the country. We've recently branched off, and we have a classic coming in Detroit. And then also in 2025, we have a classic going to be in San Diego, partnering with Jock Jones. Jock Jones, dope for the culture.
Yeah, he was super dope. Shout out to Jock Jones, too. He just sent a friend request, too, man. Real good brother.
Shout out to those old Minnesota Twins. Forgot about Torrey Hunter, too, man.
What we're going to do here is, it's a 2-part thing. We're going to announce the teams, and then we're going to announce the matchups, okay? So let me go on my computer.
I'm excited for this.
This is the moment everybody been waiting on in Chicago. I got to let it build a little anticipation.
I've never been a part of an exclusive drop before. I'm excited.
You never been one?
I was on the Instagram Live last year, but I'm saying like to actually be in the space. Nah, this is different for me, man.
So who I'm cheering? Who I'm calling game for this year?
So
who the first team?
This is going to be a shock to a lot of people, but they are a rebuilding program. They just a little bit in the south suburbs. They
what's their colors?
think it's like red or black or something like that, man.
I like those colors
They
too.
just.
Oh, I know who them guys are.
Like them
Well, let
colors.
me know who are they?
You talking about them guys off of Salt Trail out there in Richmond Park?
Yeah, everybody
I
give
know
it up
them.
for Rich Township. Welcome to the Chicago High School
Shout out to
Classic.
Coach.
First team in the entry.
Shout out to Coach Stallings and his whole coaching
Congratulations.
Yeah, he's building
Great
that program
guys, man.
back up, man.
Hey, make sure y'all come with it because it's going to be 4,000 fans. Make sure y'all don't get scared now.
It was live, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Second team. Let me see. So the second team, man, they put on a thriller last year. The game went to extra innings. They had a lot of ish talking going back and forth on the internet. So
that was some fun times right there.
The people said that we have to bring this school back.
Just because.
Just because. And I'm looking at all the votes and everything. So who's the second team in the class? Chicago High School Baseball Class 2025.
It's got to be those Owls from Ogden, I believe.
Woo! Congratulations.
Shout out to Ogden.
Owls.
Shout out to those guys.
Coach Poole and the bully, Coach Corey Hearn.
Hey, man,
I like that.
The bully. Yeah, he's the bully.
bully.
I gave him the nickname the bully because he used to troll me all for 3 years. I was like, stop bullying me. I'm going to report you to Facebook. But congratulations to the Ogden Owls. They doing some marvelous things. That's the new improved Clemente.
Ooh.
Okay. Let me see. Whoop. We headed back to the south suburbs.
I know who this is.
Everybody knows who this is, and they for the right reason too.
Yeah. Can I get a shout out?
Come on.
Let me get a shout out to my man, Coach Marcus, man.
Shout out to Coach.
Shout out to Coach Marcus in the Homewood. Flossmore Vikings, man.
Congratulations, Homewood. Welcome back to the Classic. What you think about Homewood this year?
I think they're gonna be coached real well. You got the homie Jamal over there with him too. I mean, he got a great coaching staff. I think they were a little bit young last year.
Right.
So I think this year they're gonna be a lot more seasoned. They had an upset win against who last year? That was it was real big. I forgot who they beat, but it was before they beat Lane Tech. It was they had a big win. I believe.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, but shout out to Coach Marcus, man, and that crew over there. And shout out to Coach Marcus becoming a dad too, man.
Yeah,
Congratulations, man. We're gonna be out there with a shorty out there, man. I can't wait. I told him.
So
And
the
if I can
Vikings.
add this to
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be looking out because I'm already out there in the suburbs with my my Hillcrest Hawks. Henry Humes.
Oh my
And
God.
he's only a junior, and that boy might mess around by the time this season is over. Might take that #1 pitching spot in the state. I can honestly see that because the boy got some stuff.
It's a hot take.
He was up to 89 at the Classic.
Well, he only gonna improve, so that's
So-
what I'm looking out for.
Let me see.
Man, you gotta see. We all
Let's see the
know.
fourth team.
What you say, Buck?
Huh?
I heard Book
gotta
say
go off the
something.
voting poll. So the fourth team, they the reigning city champions. They won an upset victory at Wrigley Field. Comeback. So we gotta give it up one time for the Lane Tech champions. Shout out to Lane Tech.
Shout out to Lane Tech.
Always a very tough program.
Last year in the Classic, they lost in extra innings to Homewood Flossmore.
That was a great game.
That was a
A
great
lot
game.
of people a lot of people saying they want to run that back. And with Sushi Wilson and Tyler Trapp coming back,
That's the second baseman.
that's the second.
You love that
baseman.
kid, boy.
I'm very high. I love this
Love
kid.
that kid.
He's a hard-nosed baseball player, plays the game extremely well. I hope this kid gets signed this fall by a
He
college.
should. He
If
should.
any college is listening right now, you better go get Tyler Trapp while he's still on the board.
What travel team you play with?
I believe top tier. I believe.
Bring that boy back home to Ace, man. Quit playing with him.
I've been telling them go get him. They don't listen to me. But
That's another discussion.
Lane Tech is the fourth school. So I'm gonna lean on Noble. You were a CPS product.
Yep.
What school did you go to?
I started off at Harlan, over there on 95th in Michigan.
That's right.
And then I went to Brooks over there on 111th in Michigan.
Oh.
So
Coached against this kid, man.
fun games, CPS it's really similar to the SWAC, that ish talking and just the environment and how you're going to have to bring it if you want people to respect you, So I loved it. Every second of it.
So
Let's talk about who not gonna be in the Classic first this year. Who been in the Classic all these years, and let's give a shout out to your old coach.
we got to give a huge shout out to Walker Park, Ernest
There you go.
Radcliffe. He's down to Triton, baseball coach.
That's huge.
Shout out to you, Coach Radcliffe.
They lost a couple players, so they got to rebuild. Didn't get the votes that they quite needed, but we're looking Make sure if y'all want them in for 2026,
vote them in.
You got to vote them in. But this next school, this is going to be a very interesting pick because I'm curious to see how they perform and what they do this year. They got a coin phrase called winning on Blackstone.
I like that.
And they put on a hell of a show last year at the 2024 Chicago High School Baseball Classic. They won in walk-off fashion. I think Philly Field walked it off.
Yes, he did.
Kavari Thunderbird was excellent on the mound.
Shout out to Macazo.
Kavari is going to be at John H. Logan. So I'm going to be interested to see how the team performs without the ticket. But
they have 3 kids.
Huh?
Savion?
Savion's gone.
And Kamari.
Yeah, Kamari.
I forgot they were
Kamari went to Michigan State, right?
Yes, he did.
Shout out. He hit a home run yesterday.
Yes, sir.
At RBI. Leadoff bomb against Detroit to help them win. But Kenwood Broncos, they're still going to be a very tough team to beat in the city. They're going to be well coached. They're going to come up fired up. Can't wait to see big time Jimmy Downs. He should be pitching. Hopefully, downtown Jimmy Downs. But yeah, shout out to Kenwood Broncos. Welcome back to the 2025 Chicago High School Baseball Classic. I'm sorry. So we got one more team to pick.
The only team on Vincennes, according to them. The only school on Vincennes, according to them.
I love their little rivalry. I'm sorry, not little rivalry. I love their rivalry.
The only school on Vincennes, according to Coach Smoke.
Shout out to Coach Smoke, man.
So the last team to enter the Chicago High School Baseball Classic 2025 is the legendary Simeon Wolverines.
Go Simeon, man.
Go Simeon. They have some additions to their lineup that should improve it.
Second year Coach Smoke.
Coach Smoke came out in impressive fashion last year and put, they say, belt to what? Belt to
tail, man. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, belt to ass. I know we can cuss for real.
That's okay. This is the recess, man.
Oh,
this is the recess. You say a little bit of bad words every now and then, but
we can't say.
Yeah,
can't say that.
No, that.
Well, you got to get one of those little buttons then, in case we get a little deep in conversation. You know the little censor button? Yeah, we need one of those.
But Simeon, rich tradition in Chicago, one of the premier Chicago high school sports teams. And a historical fact, Simeon has the most MLB draft picks in all the schools in Illinois, but a lot of people don't know that.
In Illinois, wow.
Yeah, in Illinois.
That's impressive.
Look it up. In the 80s, it was pumping them out left and right. And in the early 90s, so definitely cannot have a Chicago High School Baseball Classic without having Simeon in it. So now, you've heard the teams.
Mm-hmm.
The next episode, we're gonna give y'all the matchups. We ain't gonna give it to y'all too early. I changed my mind. We gotta shuffle the board and get to the back room with the meetings. Warren would be very upset with us.
Boom. Shout out to him.
So, teams in the Chicago High School Baseball Classic. We got Rich Township.
Mm-hmm.
We got Ogden.
Mm-hmm.
We got Lane Tech.
Mm-hmm.
We got Homer Flossmoor.
Mm-hmm.
We got Kenwood.
Winning on Blackstone Academy.
And we got Simeon.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm rooting for whoever's from the suburbs. That's like I did last year. So, hey, Rich Township, Coach Stallings and y'all, let's get it together. HF, hey, I'm rooting for y'all too. So when those hats come out, I need one of each.
So I was biased a couple years because I was announcing, but everybody knows I was rooting for my little cousin. But this year, it's gonna be a little different.
This is a public service announcement. Black Baseball Media does not condone violence of any such coach, player, or attendee. So make sure that we use safe practices on the internet, no cyberbullying. And I had to say that, but you already know when the issue get talking, we going to keep it safe and clean. Parents, make sure y'all go get your merchandise. We're going to have the Black Baseball Media official merchandise on sale. We're going to drop that October 15th. Make sure you go get it. This is the official Chicago High School Baseball Classic merchandise. Go grab it. Go represent. This year, we will be having also a wealth summit. It's going to be a wealth summit that's going to take place the day before the Classic. All the kids are going to participate. I'm not going to give up too much, but this is to set us up for life, set the kids up, for life after baseball, which we talked about on this podcast. Shout out to CEOs Evolve. Those are official sponsors. We got a couple other sponsors that's going to be jumping on board. And if you would like to be a sponsor of the Chicago High School Baseball Classic and the Wealth Summit, make sure you email Coach E at blackbaseballmedia.com. Go to blackbaseballmedia.com, find out all the wonderful things that's happening. We're going to wrap this podcast, the Recess Podcast, up.
One second.
Here's our final remarks.
Hey, I want to shout out to you, Coach E, because this is something that a lot of people want to do. Everybody say, "Oh, give it flowers, give it flowers." Hey, my dog right here, man. He actually talked about this when he first did. I remember the conversations, and I this is our 4th year doing this, bro. This is our 4th year doing this, man. And they got bigger and bigger every year. And like I honestly say, man, you said, hey, once we do this thing, we're gonna bring a partner. What people don't understand is the community love that we bring back by giving money back to these programs, by giving money back to these communities, by getting Black vendors, by bringing family and communities together. We had a game in Detroit last year that 2 teams weren't even gonna play each other, bro.
That's right.
And we brought that community together, and it was so much fun. And people praised us. So I just want to say, man, bro, shout out to you, my dog, for having a vision to want to do this and believing in your own people, man.
I appreciate that. But guess what? I was just the thought behind it. We got a whole team. It's y'all, all these people right here on this stage and a couple people behind the scenes. We got a whole army. And that's the only way we effectively have change. If we're all working together. It can't be, I got mine over here, you got yours over there. We got to have a collective group to have the impact. I'm just the mouth of the South. I'm just going to talk my ish. Everybody else bags me up. So, they're the brain power, they're the horsepower behind a lot of things that we do.
Yeah, and if I can give some flowers as well, like Buck said, man, I'm in my 3rd year of coaching, being on the couch for several years and whatnot. And so, before I give you yours, I gotta make sure I shout out the one that got me back into the game, and that's my boy Max Huckabee. Matter of fact,
sir.
all the Huckabees, Max, right? Hey, listen. But I'm gonna say this, when we were growing up, fierce competitors on the field. They unfortunately went to that other school on Pulaski.
I was just making a joke.
Yeah,
let me pause you right there. They tried to text me talking about the Hyde Park picnic, who going to that, da-da-da. I said, fam, nobody even knows where Bremen is. So I was really glad that you said that. But go ahead, talk your ears.
But no, what I was gonna say was, I've known the Huckabees since I was in 7th grade, and for them to have, shout out to Mr. Huckabee, the dad, and then Quentin and Max. Max is the one that got me off the couch, like I said, to get me into coaching, and he always made sure that I was involved and around what you guys were doing. So, this is where your flowers come in. Thank you for bringing me in, you know what I'm saying, and allowing me to be a part of this, because it's giving me an opportunity to not only, be a part of baseball on a media side, but this is where I come from. Right. I come from media, and shout out to to Kim who was here with me. She was a part of the journey with me to get here, and she's been my biggest supporter, one of my biggest supporters. And so yeah, man, shout out to Black Baseball Media, and shout out to Chicagoland and Chicago baseball.
Right.
Well, I guess it's my turn to give your flowers, Coach E. I really appreciate what you did with the Black Baseball Media platform. It changes a lot. It's really inspired, not only me, but my partner, B. Simon, to try and create this exposure for everybody so these people can see how great, not good, but how great this talented area of kids are, because we are just so great at what we do, but we get undermined by just the color of our skin. And you do that, and you do every day. You put something out every day to make sure that we're raising awareness and we just getting to where we need to be. So I appreciate you for that.
Man, you're part of the team.
God doggone right, boy. Proud of you, boy.
Together, everyone achieves more.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching the Recess Podcast. We are in season 3. Be on the lookout for the next episode. But before you do, make sure you subscribe to Black Baseball Media on YouTube. Follow us on all social media outlets. Go to blackbaseballmedia.com. Got to give another wonderful, I need everybody to give a hand clap, a virtual hand clap to Chris here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
She is behind the scenes. She's giving us her studio, the mics, the
dope.
recording, and she's pretty dope. So make sure y'all go follow her right now. And guess what? We just getting started.
San Diego, we coming next year, dog.
Yeah, I gotta go ahead and figure out this high school baseball stuff around that. But I don't know, man. I might have to call in sick that weekend.
That's right.
Shout out to Teflon Softball, too. Shout out to Coach Indy.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Be on the lookout next week.
Peace.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.